Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Gypsies by Alexander Pushkin. This is a narrative poem and it was written in 1824 and published in 1827. This poem belongs to the cycle of so-called Southern poems which was written during his exile at his mother's estate in northern Russia. The main idea of the poem is testing the moral boundaries and the adjusting of the nobility to the customs of the common people. The plot begins when the Aliko, a nobilis from town, joins the camp of gypsies who are living the completely opposite life from the one he was used to living. A concept popular during the era of Romanticism was presenting the idea that a life spent far away from civilization, in complete harmony with nature, is better when compared to the alienated life of people who are living in the cities. That idea in this poem is represented by the gypsy camp where life is lived differently, obeying to different laws and also observing the freedom and love from another point of view. The poem is written in verses formed as a dialogue between the three main characters, Aliko, Zemfira, and the old gypsy man, and this poem is used as an inspiration for many operas as well. The poem begins with a description of a place by the river where the gypsy camp is located in Bessarabia, a part of Moldavia. At a quiet evening, while families are preparing dinner, children are playing and singing, and one grizzled older man is lying by the river while his meal is getting cold. He waits for his young daughter to return as she is used to walking around whenever and wherever she wants, enjoying her freedom. His daughter Zemfira returns bringing a young man named Aliko who is escaping the city laws, and she has offered him to join their camp. The old man accepts the young man despite his poverty, offering him shelter and food if he is willing to accept their lifestyle. Aliko decides to stay and Zemfira is keen on seducing him. The old man wakes them the next morning because the entire camp was leaving. The dogs are barking, donkeys carrying the children, old and young folks singing their tunes. Although poverty rules among them, they are not sad. As a contrast to them, Aliko feels a bit blue, still worried despite the freedom he gained. He escaped the town and his whole life, but his heart is led with passion, and he is aware that this passion will wake up again inside him. Zemfira asks him if he regrets leaving his old life behind, but he assures her he wants to remain by her side, as she was a complete opposite from everything he knew about her. People in town are inhibited by the absence of freedom and love, and he thinks it is impossible to be happy without love. The old man warns him how different their lifestyle is compared with the way he used to live before. They are not used to luxury, so it is possible he won't remain satisfied with only having the freedom. He remembers a man who once joined them. He had a young soul despite his old age, but he couldn't adapt. His last wish was to be returned and buried in his hometown. 2 years passed after Aliko joined the gypsies, and everything remained the same with gypsies always on the move, finding happiness at different places. Aliko got used to their new life far from town, and soon nothing reminded him of his former life anymore. One day he heard Zemfira singing about adultery of a woman who lusts for the young lover over her dull old husband. Aliko warned her to stop singing as he doesn't like the song, but she kept on. Zemfira even confessed Aliko the song is about him as she doesn't love him anymore as she found a younger lover for herself. The old man explains Aliko that it is only an old song which is singing for fun, and he heard it for the first time from his wife as she was singing it while putting Zemfira to sleep by the fire when she was just a child. One evening, Zemfira tells her father she is not in love with Aliko anymore and wants to regain her freedom. Aliko talks in his sleep, calling Zemfira and some other name as well. Later, he explains Zemfira his dream about another person who was standing between the two of them, so he lost his trust in everyone, including her as well. Aliko then confesses to the old man his sorrow for the loss of Zemfira's love, and the old man tries to comfort him, trying to excuse Zemfira's infidelity due to her youth. She is free spirited and unable for staying faithful. But Aliko was sad while he remembered her former love and the nights they spent happily together, kissing and talking about everything. Now that passion is gone. The old man told him a story about his experience with Mariulia, Zemfra's mother, who he met when he was young as well. Their happiness lasted for only a year until another gypsy camp took place by them, leaving after 2 days, and Marilla decided to follow them after she met a new lover. She left Zemfara with the old man who was heartbroken and full of hate towards women in general. Aliko wanted to know why he didn't revenge by killing Marula and her new lover, but the old man answered him that the youth has a freedom of a bird impossible of taming. One evening, Aliko saw Zemvera with the new lover as they parted from each other while arranging the next meeting. Not able to overcome his anger, he kills her lover in a rage. While Zemfara tried to calm him down, he kills her as well because she was accusing him of committing a crime. The next scene describes the funeral of Zemfara and her lover. They were buried together in Aliko's presence. After the burial, the old man approached Aliko asking him to go away from their camp. Though they don't share the same laws as the rest of the men, they don't approve the murderers to stay in their camp, so they have to leave Alika back and keep moving on. The epilogue warns us about the dangers hidden in the gypsy way of life because it is impossible to free oneself from the love or destiny. And here ends the story. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you're not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.